Today we're going to be showcasing my personal top 10 add-ons for the upcoming official hardcore servers for Classic WoW. This list will be a mix of add-ons improving your chance of survival, increasing your efficiency while leveling, and just quality of life upgrades. The reason for that and the aim for this video is that there should be some add-ons on this list for everyone, which is why I don't want to focus it all on one aspect of the game, like for example only speed leveling or survival. I want more of a mixed bag. These are add-ons that I personally think are essential to have for hardcore, so let's get into it. Number 1. Classic Aura Durations. This is a really simple but incredibly helpful add-on that will simply display the timer of various buffs and debuffs on your character and your enemies. Since Classic WoW, or I guess Vanilla WoW, was in many ways not finished like a regular 2023 game would be, some simple things like debuff and buff timers were completely missing, and even in Classic WoW we use add-ons to display things like that. This is incredibly useful, especially if you're a warlock for example, as you rely on a lot of damage over time effects, so seeing how much time is left on your current damage over time spell is very beneficial before renewing that effect. Same thing goes for druids and their heal over time effect. But in general, all classes will have a reason to have this add-on. Hunters for example with their Serpent Sting and Concussive Shot, and so on. A very simple but incredibly helpful add-on. Number 2. Questy or RXP leveling add-on. Using a leveling add-on or a leveling guide can be incredibly helpful throughout your leveling process. On a surface level, without any add-ons, you need to know the quest by heart, and the game itself will not show you where to go. If you are just looking for basic help showing you how to complete the quest you already have picked up, Questy does exactly that, and it's a free add-on. That being said, as a RestedXP user myself, I have to say, the leveling guides by RestedXP are incredibly helpful to a player like myself who might not know all the quests in the game by heart. Because on hardcore servers you only have one life, and some quests can be incredibly dangerous without ever showing you that it is in fact dangerous. Like for example, I once died at level 54 as a warlock doing the Pawn Captures Queen quest, which is marked as a normal level 555 quest, which should not have been difficult at all, but was in fact very dangerous, and most people skip that quest. RestedXP's leveling guides takes all the guesswork and does the theory crafting themselves, so you don't have to think about which quests are scary or not, because all you have to do is follow their guide, which is made by the best levelers in Classic WoW. That being said, RestedXP's leveling guides are premium leveling guides, which means you need to pay for them, but you can try them out for free by using the link in my description, and you can even get them cheaper by putting in the discount code Solheim if you decide to purchase any of them. Next up, number 3, What's Training. This one will show you which abilities are available at what level. It's an incredibly helpful add-on that helps you plan your trips to your class trainer, and instead of going to your trainer every 2 levels, you can go there every 4 or every 6 levels, basically a huge quality of life upgrade. Number 4, Classic Bestiary. This add-on can actually be incredibly useful if used correctly. What it does is shows you which abilities the mobs has that you are targeting, which abilities that mob actually has, right? Some mobs have slow effects, some has an enrage effect, some can even execute you, and some can stun you. Knowing which abilities a mob actually has helps you prepare for which abilities to use for that mob specifically. Number 5, Leatrix Plus. This is an incredibly complex add-on that can help you do a bunch of things. It offers in-game automation both for actual gameplay like automatically accepting and completing quests. It also helps you block trades or block duels, but what I mostly want to highlight for this video is 2 functions. Number 1, the ability to enhance your quest log. The normal version of the quest log is incredibly small and only shows a handful of quests, and then you have to scroll down for an eternity, and it's just a mess. By enhancing it through Leatrix Plus, you can see all your quests in one big quest log, and it's much easier to navigate. One of the biggest quality of life increases in the game if you ask me. Another huge function is the Leatrix maps. If you don't have any map add-ons, sometimes if you happen to enter combat while you have your map open, you can't even exit the map interface until you're out of combat, which can be very annoying. Leatrix Plus gives you its own map version which you can enter or exit at any time, plus you can move it around and make it bigger or smaller to fit your preference. Number 6, vendor price. There's not really much to say about this one. It shows the actual vendor price of anything you loot, which for some reason is a functionality you actually need an add-on for. Number 7, Unitscan. This might be one of the most important add-ons for hardcore, giving you the option of scanning for mobs that you manually put into it. This can scan for mobs such as Stitches, Terramus, or even Devil Swords, and alert you upon their presence. Classic WoW is a very weird and dangerous game with elites and rares roaming in the open world in the most weird locations, and if you don't use an add-on like Unitscan, then these elites can sneak up on you when you least expect them, and they will absolutely obliterate you. Unitscan will alert you with a visual warning and even play a warning sound when it finds one of the targets around you. The only downside is that you need to manually put in which mobs for it to scan for, but as I've talked about Unitscan before, I will do the same thing for this video, as I have done in the past, and include a long list of names that you can simply copy and paste into your Unitscan add-on, which you can find in the video description. Number 8, Classic Cast Bars. Again, this is a very simple add-on that does exactly what the name tells you. It gives you cast bars for Classic WoW, showing the cast time for both your own spells and enemy spells, incredibly useful for just about anything. Number 9, Gathermate 2 and Gathermate 2 Data. This one you can use to track different objectives and material spawns in the open world, and you can even import data from other people or export your own. By downloading the Gathermate 2 data from Wowhead, you can get all the spawns for Classic WoW, and it even includes chest spawns, which is what I mostly use it for myself. If you happen to do some quests in an area with some chests available, knowing where those chests actually spawn can give you some additional loot, including blues, epics, and even potions while leveling. Number 10, Atlas, AtlasLoot, and Atlas Quest. This combination will show you dungeon maps, dungeon loot, and dungeon quests. Just a huge quality of life upgrade really. With all of these add-ons, there's a couple more I want to mention while still keeping the top 10 titles, so here are 2 honorable mentions. Number 1, Logout Skips. This one is more for the elite type of hardcore player who wants to min-max efficiency. Logging out in certain locations will make it so you spawn in a different location, and this is an add-on I highlighted 2 months ago when the add-on itself had less than 200 downloads. It is not an add-on that I talk about a lot since it can be very scary to use, but if you care about leveling fast, it can also be very helpful. The basics of logout skipping is that you need to log out under the ground on an object and 1 character length above the ground. It's a weird mechanic that tricks the game into thinking that you logged out in the middle of the air and therefore teleports you to the nearest graveyard or respawn location. Number 2, LFG Bulletin Board. This one makes it easier to find groups for whatever you are looking for a group for, without needing to constantly keep an eye out on the chat itself. This will divide groups into sections, 1 section per dungeon or per raid, 1 for trade and 1 for miscellaneous. That way it is very easy for you to find groups for what you're looking for, and you can even directly whisper the leader from that add-on. And that is pretty much what I have for you today. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below if there are any more add-ons you think should have made the list, and while you're down there, feel free to bless the video with a like and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.